worked on in practice last Wednesday. Head coach John Harbaugh said prayers do get answered after his star quarterback missed practice Thursday due to the foot soreness. After Saturday's game, Harbaugh announced that Jackson is set to practice when the team gets back on the field today. The Ravens looking to become the first team ever to win 3 straight AFC North titles, but will need to get off to a fast start. So their win total for the season is set at 11.5 at ESPN Bet, but face 5 playoff teams from last season in their first 6 games. Quite the gauntlet to start their schedule. Stephen A., do you believe Lamar's foot injury is something or nothing for the Ravens?
I say it's something, but Ryan and D.O. understand where I'm coming from when I say this. If Lamar Jackson has a cold, it matters. If he's got gas, it matters. If this brother, if this brother is got the sniffles, it matters. If his hairdo ain't right and that bothers him, it matters. I don't give a damn what it is. He's so valuable to the Baltimore Ravens. I'm telling you, if he was running a practice and he bumped into D.O., okay, and he sat up there and all of a sudden they got in an argument and then his temperament ain't right, that matters. I don't give a damn what it is.
Why would he automatically get into an argument with me? Why would it be me?
Well, because it's you. If the equipment manager got him the wrong pair of socks, it matters. If he wears the wrong underwear, I don't give a damn what it is. This is Lamar Jackson. He's so valuable to everything that is the Baltimore Ravens. That's why I'm saying what I'm saying. Of course I'm being facetious, but I'm trying to make a bigger point. He is everything.
Yeah.
And I mean everything to the Baltimore Ravens. And they go where he takes them, even with Henry, even with Zay Flowers, even with Bateman, even with Lively and Andrews and all of these cats. It don't matter. With him, everything goes. The Ravens, everything is about Lamar Jackson. That's all I meant by saying that.
Yeah, I mean, I'm with you. Obviously, he's, one of the best players in football. I think you could say that for 4 or 5 quarterbacks and a bunch of the starters. Impactful. I think it's not a big deal. I really do. I don't think it's much. Obviously, he's incredibly valuable. But we all know that, one, this is one of the best rosters in football. It's probably the best roster in the AFC. If you take the Eagles out, it's probably the best roster in football. They'll have a top 5 defense. They'll have a top 10 offensive line. They got one of the best backs in football. So, all-encompassing, we know what this football team is in roster-wise, and we know that really in the regular season, as much as we love it and we want to watch it and be captivated by it, it really doesn't matter. What you do in the postseason is going to be the only thing that we are going to talk about from this point on for Lamar Jackson's season and career. So I don't think the injury is a big deal. And I think that even if Lamar Jackson somehow was banged up to start the season, this team would be completely fine in the long run.
And I know this isn't the conversation. Where we will probably get to with Lamar Jackson when it comes to regular seasons is going to be unfair.
It already is.
We are going to ignore the level of greatness we see. We are seeing something that's once in a lifetime in Lamar Jackson. As much as we look at a Michael Vick and how transcendent his play was and the way it may have changed the league, and then obviously Cam Newton, and now you see a Patrick Mahomes, Lamar Jackson to me is more than that. He's made the position feel different. He's made it look different. He's allowed us to say that there are other ways to be an all-time great outside of just being a traditional pocket passer and still be one of the greatest, most efficient passers of all time, along with being the most electric athlete we've ever played, that's ever played the position. You talked about the gauntlet they'll face in 5 of the 6 first weeks of the season. And if they go 6-0, and if Lamar Jackson is off to an MVP trajectory, we'll come on here and talk about it. And then at some point we'll say, but we have to see what he does in the playoffs. And I think it's unfair, but it's where we are with his greatness, because we know what it looks like week 1 through 18. What will it be?
Then it's not unfair. Then it's not unfair. Then it's not unfair. There's nothing wrong.
It is.
Listen,
it is, Stephen. It is.
Hold on. Wait a minute. If you're great and it's universally recognized that you're great, then you want validation. It's the only thing that's left. And in the world of sports, it comes via the postseason. We all know that. And so it's not shade on him. It's acknowledgement of his greatness. When we look at Lamar Jackson, and it's time that we embrace this, What we're saying is, whatever it is that you do en route to those big moments, you do in the big moments. Not better,
Sure.
not worse. You just do what you do. That's all.
Yeah,
But it's fair. But I just feel like we can't live in the moment with him anymore, right? Like with Joe Burrow, because he beat Patrick Mahomes in the AFC Championship, and he's going. I'm working to do so because I just feel like even in last year, we rode that moment all the way to the playoffs, and you're almost begging for him to win because you know what the conversation is going to be. The conversation is never going to be about how the Baltimore Ravens failed. It's going to be about how Lamar Jackson didn't succeed.
But I see. But wait a minute. I'm talking right now. I'm listening to a Super Bowl champion who's an NFL analyst extraordinaire, and two of the most fair-minded people. I know I get on D.O. about his favoritism towards quarterback, but I love
Matthew Stafford,
I love messing with him. But we know that definitely, so no objectivity there. But the point that I'm trying to make to you is this. Y'all are very, very fair-minded, and there's nothing wrong, because I root for people too. There's nothing wrong with y'all rooting for people. But what I'm saying to you, Ryan, is listen to what you said. You're working to get there. This is something that's your natural disposition. But when it comes to Lamar Jackson, you have to work to get there because you know in your heart of hearts, when you're that great, all we're waiting for is closure.
Yeah.
Close the deal. Be that dude. That's it.
There's
nothing else.
There's 8 quarterbacks in the league this year that the regular season really doesn't matter. They're groups
Allen.
of 4. Josh, Patrick, Lamar, and Joe. What do you do when it matters the most? And one of them we know is going to show up, Patrick. And then there's a group of 4 that it doesn't that much either. Dak Prescott, he's been in that group for a couple years. Jalen Hurts, because of how well he's played in big-time moments. Stafford and Rodgers, because the legacy a little bit is on the line for those two.
We got to leave it there.
I would add Justin Herbert to that as well.
All right. He's favored to win his third MVP. Ravens co-favorites to win the Super Bowl this year as well. We would all love that. Coming up, we have much more to say about Shedeur Sanders' struggles Saturday. All the talk of him being number 2 on the QB depth chart. Should that conversation be over? Caleb Williams in year 2 could have the Bears roaring, but RC has a thought about something critical.
I don't think he's going to start unless Joe Flacco falls flat on his face and gets hurt. And then I think Dylan Gabriel should be the number 2 quarterback unless he falls flat on his face and or gets hurt. And then what they do with Kenny Pickett, I would imagine they have him as the 3rd, and Shedeur is like that 4th that they're trying to develop.
They're saying they're keeping all 4 on the 53-man roster.
Unless someone gets hurt or there's just complete disaster performance-wise by the other 3, I don't think he gets on the field.
Here's the sad part about what we saw this weekend. That may be the only time we see Shedeur Sanders on the NFL field this year. That will be our lasting memory, unless all of those dominoes fall, Dan, the way that you just articulated. And based on what we saw him do against Carolina, we were excited about the prospect of him potentially being the QB too, because Kenny Pickett obviously was hurt. You felt that he outplayed Dylan Gabriel in the first game, even though Dylan Gabriel went against the Eagles and he went against the Carolina Panthers the week before, acquiring that oblique injury or what have you. At the end, the bottom line is this would be our lasting memory if he doesn't play this year. And that was something that I was hoping would not happen for him.
Shedeur Sanders never starts a game for the Cleveland Browns, not only this season, but for the rest of his career, unless everybody else gets hurt, unless everybody else falls on his face.
That's a hot take.
I believe they have made their decision on Shedeur Sanders, and that decision could have been made pre-draft. That decision could have been made in OTAs in minicamp. That decision could have been made in training camp. But we also have to be fair to Dylan Gabriel. When Shedeur Sanders is in any quarterback room, it doesn't matter if he could be one of the 32. It matters, can he be number 1 in his room? And in the rookie competition, based on what we saw play out in preseason games, Dylan Gabriel is now, in my opinion, ahead of Shedeur Sanders in development.
Interesting. Browns quarterbacks last year, worst QBR in the NFL, 35. All right, coming up on First Take, Lamar Jackson dealing with a foot injury, but expects to return to practice today. Does SA feel this injury could be something or nothing? And Micah Parsons laying